And then I realized that my whole system microphone was completely muted. So that's what was happening, is the system microphone was muted. So at least we figured it out. I am pretty much all out of tea at this point because the tea started with me 4 hours ago at this point, but I'm back for another episode of Tarot and Tea. If you have not joined me before, I'm Safrianna Luna, the queer spirit guide. I am a druidic priestess, a trauma therapist, and a transformational mentor, author, speaker, etc. And I try to go live at least once a week to tune in to collective energies and touch base with you all. So today, I've already pulled the cards. I pulled them this morning. So I'm just going to walk you through the cards that were pulled and give you the messages that were coming in. And I just want to start with this acknowledgement that I feel like there are some really big collective things coming down the pike. I cannot put my finger on exactly what that is. I had dreams just the other night that I woke feeling like were very significant. And just this weight, this pressure of something building. And obviously in the world right now, we have a lot of collective things happening. We have war and genocide and human trafficking and just all kinds of atrocities that continue to unfold in our human collective. And yet this week, the energy is almost like dismissing the collective, and it's saying, come back to you, the individual. And so there's something about this, I do these cards for the collective, but there's something in this that is less collective and more personal than usual. And I don't know how to describe it other than that, just to like really listen to yourself. And so in listening to yourself, here is our tarot invitation of the week, the Four of Cups. So the Four of Cups, you can see her, laying over the branch of this tree, this mossy tree she's laying in. The cups around her are scattered. They are almost certainly empty. This one up here might have something in it. But this is really reminding us not to get bored with life. We might feel bored right now. And in fact, I think that in the scheme of the collective, I really see how we want to be appraised of everything that's happening all of the time, to the point where it actually ends up draining us and harming us in a way. And if we don't bog ourselves down with all of the minutia of all of the same things that are happening in the world right now, we can feel this disconnect, almost a boredom or a stagnancy, because we have become used to this high level of bombardment, of negativity, of awful things, of atrocities, of the fire hose of bad stuff that is constantly coming our way. So this card is reminding us not to get stuck in the limitations, not to become stagnant, and not to get lost in apathy and lethargy. Hi, Jilly. Let me know if you can hear me. This is attempt number 3. I feel like it's been quite a wild ride today. So if you are feeling that like stuck, sticky, stagnant energy, like you can't move forward, like you've gotten stuck all of a sudden, it's time to unstick yourself. Now, how do you do that? The cards did not tell us that today, and maybe I will pull one more card on our third attempt here, but I want to get into what the Oracle said, which is what is available for us. Oh, thank goodness you can hear me. What is available for us when we clear out this stagnancy and this self-made limitation as indicated in this card. So the first thing is we will have the opportunity to listen to our intuition more. This is an invitation to really listen to your intuition all throughout this week. Now, you may have had some major intuition come up in these last few weeks as we were in Pisces season. We've now emerged into Aries season. And the message is like, hey, If you're feeling bored, clear that shit out and actually listen to what's coming through for you, because you know what is pulling you forward. You have the calling of your soul if you choose to listen, but you have to listen to those messages that are coming through. When you listen to those intuitive messages, the spiritual experiences come through even more clearly. So, our second oracle card this week is the Great Teacher. There's an opportunity for great learning right now. There's no reason to be bored. There's so much learning available to you, but specifically spiritual experiences and spiritual learning. And so, what I've been really sitting with is that the spiritual experiences and messages are everywhere. They are literally an overlay, a dimension on top of all the other ones. So, what spiritual messages are coming through your relationship with your body right now? What's going on in your physicality? And what does that tell you about your spiritual experience? What's going on in the state of your mind, in your environment, in your emotional state? What is this teaching you about spirit right now? And there are so many opportunities to learn. Should we not be, again, in the apathy of this Four of Cups? So it's like this is sort of a call and response this week of the Four of Cups being like, don't get lost in the stagnant sauce. Like, listen to what you're being called forward into, listen to the spiritual messages. And I guess here is really the how. How do we move out of this? Well, we let down our shields. The protection guardian is encouraging us to drop the shields, to allow ourselves to feel what's coming through. So the spiritual experiences and the intuitive messages can only fully come through when we drop the shields that are keeping them out. Again, there's no real reason to be bored and stagnant. These things can come through, but we need to get out of our own way. So I'm going to pull one more card. I'm going to pull an activation to just kind of bring all of this home. Like, what do we really need in order to leave this stagnancy behind, drop the shields, and let these messages come through? I'm glad to hear there's been so many synchronicities. Yeah. The universe has been communicating in a lot of synchronicities and symbols lately. And when we pay attention, we see it. When we're here now, we can see it. All right. So, what is this activation to really let us be here? Consciousness. First, just the beautiful, vibrant blue of this card. This itself is an activation. The number 17. Consciousness supports our ability to focus our attention on all the multidimensional aspects that show up so that we can include them in our reality. I love that. I feel like that goes hand in hand with the Great Teacher here. It is through our consciousness that we become aware here now. It is through consciousness that we can take something that we know, that we've learned, and actually integrate it into our body, into our energy, into our being in such a way that it can actually become wisdom. It can actually become something that we have learned from. There's that difference between the learning and having actually learned something. The integration is key. So the integration of consciousness, of really being here now, being aware in this present moment, and allowing what needs to come through to come through. So to recap, now that we're here and we're heard for the third time, Four of Cups is really, really a card of stagnation. It can be a card of lethargy, of apathy. This is boredom. This is like the energy of, I don't wanna. So what do you want to do? What are you inspired by? What moves you forward? Listen to your intuition and get those messages of what your soul is actually calling you towards. Listen to the Great Teacher within you and listen for those spiritual experiences in all dimensions of awareness. You've got to drop your shields, those mental shields that keep things out, the physical shields that keep things out, the energy shields that keep things out. You don't have to drop all your protection. You are protected by your angels, ancestors, guardians, and guides. You can hand it over to them. You can hand it over to God, to your higher power, and be open to what needs to come through for you. And all of that comes through in the point of consciousness and our point of awareness here now. So activating this frequency of consciousness to allow you to include all aspects of your multidimensional reality. So, those are the messages for the week. And then on my personal note, let's see, a couple of things. One, there's no new updates on Park House. In fact, this morning, I was like, of course they don't have any updates. But now that we are at 2:00, I'm a little disappointed that we don't have any updates. But our reappraisal was on Friday. Supposedly, we didn't have confirmation, but assuming that she approves the repairs that we did, I am hoping our house will be sold by the end of this week. If not, by absolutely no later than the end of the month. That is the vision I am holding. And I am just going to put it out there in faith that everything is going to work out one way or another. I've been vague booking lately. I joked in a recent blog about how I feel like I've been really posting vague things like MySpace circa 2004 because I have some big things happening in my life. I'm going to share them very, very soon. But I am just like really feeling all of the transition and that everything kind of needs to settle because I'm just in absolute flux in every area of my life. And so I want to be conscious. We'll use that word. I want to be conscious about how I share things and just kind of how I move forward. But long story short, my whole business is going to be being redone. So there's a lot of things in the background that are happening there, restarting my whole email list and all of that stuff. So planning on rolling all of that out here soon. We just celebrated the spring equinox over the weekend, Dr. Melissa Bird and I, and our lovely little community. And there's just so much continuing to unfold from that. I'm just kind of allowing it to move through. I'm going to go back and revisit the meditation for sure because I was guiding the meditation. Of course, I didn't have the opportunity to really go through that myself. So I want to go back and redo that. We did a bunch of gardening over the weekend. We've kind of gotten all of our early spring planting done. And then because this is actually now relevant and wasn't this morning when I was trying to record the first time, I am also getting ready to share a bundle. So I, for the first time in my life, joined a business bundle. If you are an entrepreneur, if you are a small business owner, if you're a professional, if you're a self-development person, you might be interested in this bundle. I have my guide that's all about nature and business and using mindfulness, druidry, and Star Wars ideas. That is my freebie in the bundle, but there's over 70 contributors in the bundle, and you basically go join a school group, and then you can download as many things. They're all like kind of linked, and you go and download what you want. So I'll be sharing more about that, but I'm just excited because it's my first time being in a bundle, and it's at a great time while I'm in this business flux to really be accepting and stepping more into my druidry role and how my druidry relates to my professional identity and what comes next. So that is, I think, all for today. It feels weird when I've talked about all of these things twice already, and then I'm like, what do I actually need to say? I will say about my novel, something big happened as I was beginning to plan book 2, and my dear partner Justin asked me a very thought-provoking question that has now reoriented the rest of the series in my head. So it's going to be very intriguing to see how that actually unfolds with playing out what these novels end up looking at and looking like in their content. So I'm really excited. I can't wait to share more of that with you and to share more of my writing with you in general. I will probably have a blog coming out soon about being a survivor. I actually this morning, as I was rushing to try and do the second recording, I was also getting ready for a Survivor Speakers event. I have had some beautiful opportunities to speak in front of live audiences, locally and online, about being a survivor of intimate partner violence and sexual violence, and like that's feeling like a big thread pulling through. And I'm trying to figure out, in terms of here on Substack, what do I want to share? I might want to start a survivor blog of sorts, a little subsection where I get into some of those stories. But I don't know if that would be of value to anyone, or if that's of interest, or if I should just write it as a memoir and publish the book down the line. I'm still sitting with it. I just know that I am definitely called to share my experiences more, in the hopes that other people don't experience the same, or in the hopes that if they have experienced the same or similar, they know they're not alone, they know it's not their fault, and they know they can move on from it. So yeah, I think that will be all for today. Hopefully, this is the very last time I'm recording this for today. And next Monday, I will be back and all of the tech will have sorted its darn self out. If I can be of service to you in any way, please don't hesitate to reach out. guide@safrianna.com is the best email to reach me on. And otherwise, go to my website, safrianna.com, and you can very easily book a call to hop on and chat how we can work together, or how I can assist in any way. So I love you all so much. Our cards are giving us the hope. They're giving us the reminders of what not to do. And I love our bonus card pull here on time 3 about consciousness, because this is it. This is the key, is to be here now and see what's here now. There's nothing to be bored about when we're really here now. So love you. Thank you so much. See you next time, my friends. Bye for now.